Hey everybody, this is Denny.
And this is James. Welcome to the white van edition of TDB.
God, we say these jokes before the episode so that we get them out of our system, dude.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any associations with the tea.
Oh my goodness. So we do this to just shake it up. It
Yeah.
might be the case that we film a lot of these in the same go, and as a result, I definitely have a backpack full of clothes whenever I do this. What do we got going on today, James?
Yeah, we've got some tea from Smacha, some green tea. This is our last tea of the day, so we're trying to keep it
Maofeng?
light. Maofeng, mountain green tips. So, just as Denny raw dogged the tea for the Darjeeling, I am raw dogging some of this Maofeng. So we will see how it turns out. So if you want to learn about tea on
I don't take any responsibility for any of what he's saying right now.
improvisation,
Yeah.
this is how you do it.
Alright,
Doesn't that smell pretty good to you?
It really does, actually.
Yeah, it's because of my gong fu skills.
Oh, nice. Very sweet. And not vegetal, but just green. Yeah, it's fresh.
Yep. So I'm using a little bit over 3 grams of leaf. With these green teas, I'm going to try not pouring directly on the leaves.
Probably a good
Looks
idea.
really nice and clean. We'll brew that for 30 seconds. As is the case for the Darjeeling, when Denny was talking about his sort of choices,
Right.
I think it's probably best, if you're not familiar with the tea, to err on the side of not brewing too hard. So,
Especially with green and black teas.
yeah, so we're going to go for just a little bit longer, and then we'll see how that goes. So the first steep, it looks nice and clean. The leaves are just going to get a little bit hydrated. Wow, it's been a long time since I used this.
Yeah.
So getting a yellow liqueur, I think that's probably about right for a green tea, right?
Sure. Gosh, is that...
Yeah,
we
you got the
literally...
shades.
Yeah, I can't see. Let me take a look in here.
Yeah.
Really small leaves.
Very vegetal aroma coming off of it now.
Oh, man. I'm actually pretty excited. We don't drink it. We do not drink green tea on the show.
You really don't.
We really don't. I don't drink it at home very much.
Yeah. Our Japanese green tea episodes are some of our most popular, but we've had like 5 total,
Yeah.
maybe.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Well, James nailed it on the brewing. It has that really Japanese grainy
Kind of does.
flavor.
Which kind of, yeah, sort of
Barley-esque.
like... Yeah, a little bit nori, seaweed. Which is kind of weird because this is a Chinese green, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but is it reminding me a lot of those that. Yeah, I mean that kind of just characteristic Japanese kind of graininess.
This reminds me a lot of the Chinese green teas that I first got introduced to actually at Saddle Best Tea at Lydia's, where I'd buy some oolong and then I'd buy a bunch of the cheap green tea, which I think was also Maofeng. Yeah.
It's got a really nice salty, seaweedy aftertaste.
Yep. So for the second steep, because the leaves are hydrated, we are going to basically just flash brew this.
Right. Cut the time significantly.
Yeah.
I can't wait anymore. And that's because and you'll see this physically in the leaves when you open up the vessel, but the leaves themselves have been hit with a rinse, hydrated with the first steeping, and then they're also sitting in the vessel in between steepings, continuing to get the residual moisture, hydrating the leaves as well.
Exactly, and for something robust like pu'er, or especially ripe pu'er, mature pu'er, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you're talking about like these delicate little green teas with these tiny little leaves,
Right.
It matters. It matters a lot.
It'll make a difference in the flavor.
Same thing with Japanese teas.
Yeah, for sure. The liqueur is getting a little bit greener, but still nice and yellow.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really It's really nice.
Salty corn.
Yeah,
To it.
Yeah, and then but that kind of grassy sweetness at the front of it, I really am enjoying. And yeah, there's that saltiness aftertaste, that sort of oceanic.
It really does remind me of those Japanese ones. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder.
It's tasty. This was actually. I was expecting this to be almost too much for the final shot today, but this is actually kind of rounding it out perfectly.
Yeah, a nice, delicate little tea.
But still plenty of flavor. Don't I don't think James means delicate in so far as the flavor profile isn't smacking you in the face, but there's still plenty of punch here in terms of the potency, in terms of the actual flavors themselves.
Yeah, it's not like a really faint flavor or anything like that. Yeah, it's there's maybe just like the slightest hint of bitterness in this, which could probably be attributed to brewing.
Actually, I think you nailed it, man. Honestly, brewing parameters are pretty dang good. Nice.
First time in half a year.
In a long time.
Yeah.
And so this is going to brew out probably 2 more times, tasting great, and then it's going to die off really quickly.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Always good to have a delicious fresh green in your repertoire.
And I mean, greens are unfortunately one of the things where it's not the best to just let them sit around.
Right.
So, buy a little bit of green tea every year. Drink it throughout the year.
Right.
Don't overstock.
Yeah. Exactly. You're not going to want to hold on to your green tea. You're going to want to consume that as quickly as you can.
Yeah. So for this steep, I'm going to use parameters really similar to the first one. So go for like 20 seconds or so. Yeah.
And you have not reboiled the water.
I have not.
So it's going to be a little bit colder water.
Yeah.
The leaves have been fully saturated, but with a little bit of the colder water and being a little bit more farther along in the progression of the tea itself, we're going to get, hopefully, that perfect kind of steady balance of the potency with all of the fun flavor fluctuations that will take place.
Yeah. Really salty. Very
Sure.
savory in the aroma.
Yeah.
Not a green tea for everyone, but I think it's very friendly, and I think sort of like the Darjeeling, this would be a good tea for someone that has not yet found their sort of like sweet spot in tea to try.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. And but that being said, there are a lot of different flavor profiles of green, and this for
yeah,
Chinese
for sure.
green tea is a little bit atypical. So
Yeah.
cheers.
Cheers.
I think the grainy, slightly malty flavors are coming through a little bit. I think those highs are kind of dying off a little bit. In terms of those kind of sweet, crisp highs.
Some minerals.
This is good. I'm enjoying this, actually. I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying this.
Yeah,
and
so
it's always good to revisit some old teas you haven't had in a while, too.
Yeah. So this tea, we haven't talked all about the vendor. So Smacha is based over there in Bellevue,
Washington.
They were kind enough to send us this sample. Well, a bunch of samples actually. So we'll probably be bringing a couple more on, all the way across Lake Washington to Seattle, because we didn't go over there. So they gave us some ripe, some raw, some green tea, some black tea. So we'll probably be tasting some of the black tea or something like that.
They are definitely represented at the Northwest Tea Festival as well. Check them out there. Check out their store. It's pretty cool. Thanks again, folks. And James, if folks want to learn more about all sorts of different types of tea from a lot of different vendors, maybe perhaps unbiased tea reviews.
Yeah, go check us out at tdb.org. We're releasing multiple videos a week. If you're specifically interested in green tea, we did do a lot of episodes. They're just not very recent. So check those out from the archives. They're probably... We're a little bit rusty on our brewing parameters and stuff right now, but we thought about that stuff in the past. So
and this was still delicious. So Google us and subscribe. And James is a total gangster.
Yeah, and that concludes the White Van episode, guys. Just gonna hold my hand like this.
Cheers.
jackass.
Why do people watch these?